Hey Terrainiacs, Mel the Terrain Tutor back in the studio, back with the Monthly Mamble. The quickish ramble about what I've been up to in the past month and what I intend to be up to in this next month. So you know what's sort of going on. Right, so last month I started with a bit of a mission to get ahead of myself. Specifically, get a stockpile of Let's Makes videos sort of done, so I've got, if anything happens with my life and that sort of stuff and time is short or I'm ill or anything like that, I still have video content to put out. And, pardon me, in that case, in that particular premise, complete and absolute failure. Absolute failure. I started off and I tried to do the thing where, because all terrain goes in certain stages, basing and gritting, you know, sealing, painting and all that sort of stuff. What I tried to do is I tried to do 3 tutorials at the same time. Okay, doing them all the same stages, so I wouldn't have to get out the same materials again and be, you know what I mean, just a bit of uniformity, yeah, to sort of help speed things along. And at the same time I was practicing with using a second camera for my tutorials. And absolute nightmare, absolute nightmare. First off, I started getting confused into what I'd said in what tutorials, yeah, which made the footage absolutely horrendous with bits missing and all sorts. And then secondly, I had this sort of weird situation where, because I had 2 cameras, I didn't know which camera I should be talking to, and so I was constantly doing this from one side to the other. Yeah, and the end result was, the 3 tutorials I was filming, I had to throw them away. Yeah, pretty much by sort of 4 days into the week of doing them, as I was editing them all up and that sort of stuff, I had to throw them away because they were useless. Now, that left me without any content whatsoever to put out. So my little side sneaky of doing a battle map video for my Burma build, yeah, I was going to save that as one of in the stockpile, so I had to bring that out. But that kicked off something interesting as well, because I did the battle mat and it's up there, and you know, here's some photos. And what you call it? It's rubbish. I mean, it looks nice and all that sort of stuff, but for me, it's rubbish. You know, I was nowhere near happy enough with it. Now, it did demystify the sort of battle map process. Once you've done a full size one, yeah, and dealing with something on that size and dealing with materials, they lose their fear, if you know what I mean. And so I jumped into, right, I'm going to get this nailed. Okay, and I jumped into doing the acrylic caulking video that came out a couple of days ago. And basically I just spent, you know, a good long time, sort of figuring out acrylic caulking, its properties, the different types, what I can do with it. And I've got a pretty good handle on it. So that was last month, okay. I got content out, I did some interesting things. My main aims I was going for, I failed on, yeah. So I'm re-looking at it this month. Now this month, instead of attempting to do 3 or 4 tutorials at the same time, which just isn't viable. I'm not that smart, yeah. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to do, try and do 2 Let's Makes a week on the basis of I've got 1 for the week and then 1 to put up. And we'll see if that can do. At the same time, I am back with acrylic caulking. I've got to go out tomorrow and buy another sort of 10 tubes of it for a whole range, more experiments of sort of texturing it and painting it and that sort of stuff, and figuring out what I can do with it. And that should round up my knowledge on acrylic caulking. I reckon by the time I've done that, I should be okay with it, he says. Yeah, you don't know, because I mean it's a learning process, so I'm not going to know until I know. Yeah, but that's my mission. Finish off the battlefield basics, do acrylic caulking, and also start the trench video, the Let's Make special for the trenches. And I think that's one's going to get split up a bit. We'll have a Let's Make special for making the trenches, but planning the trenches I'll do as a technical tutorial, as a separate tutorial, because it's quite involved and there's quite a lot of thinking and dimensions and stuff you have to figure out, so it doesn't really fit into the Let's Makes, you know what I mean? So that's the sort of content you're going to be getting this month. You are going to be getting a Burma build. I'm working on the trees and that sort of stuff, so you'll get those. I'm off to Derby Worlds. I'm off to the Warlord Open Day, so it is Derby Worlds this Sunday coming. It's the Studios Open Day, so if you're in Stoke-on-Trent on Saturday the 7th, yeah, you have an opportunity to come along to, to the studios here, Acrylic Studios at Spodeworks in Stoke. And I'm here from I think we open at about 10 and we shut at about 5. And the whole studios, every single one is open to the public, so there's loads to see. The Sunday I'm at Derby Worlds, then work, train shooting the week after, then that weekend, Big Biology Day, which is a family thing and a KES thing on the Saturday, and then Warlord Open Day on the 15th. Yeah, I'm going to be over at Warlord doing a few bits. So, start of the month is really busy, and I've got quite a lot on. What I do need to do is get stuck in, get these Battlefield Basics videos finished. Oh, pardon me. Now, it's not just that we've got to sort. What else have we got to sort? Well, you awesome folks on my live shows managed to raise, yeah, I think it was £750 last month to buy my new editing PC. It's been ordered, it's been built as we speak, and we are waiting on delivery. Yeah, Jace is sorting that for me. And so hopefully I'll have a new editing PC soon. Now this is really important because my old PC struggles with 2-camera footage, which is why I haven't really been able to do much 2-camera stuff beyond a little play with it. Okay, the new one should be fine. Now on top of that, my old PC wasn't sort of powerful enough to run the streaming software I do my live shows with. And so one of the things I've been doing is sort of tracking my laptop backwards and forwards from the studio. Yeah, it's depending on whether it's if I need it for a Sunday night or whether I need it here for the Thursday night show. And so, with a new PC, I'll have that covered. I will have to get a new webcam just for home, but that's not a major issue. And hopefully the mic on it will be good enough that I don't need a separate mic. I've been looking at a few, and I think that there's a Logitech business one for about 60 quid, so I'll look at getting that one. But that should sort logistics for me. It should also mean that I can get back to 2-camera filming once I've figured out those angles and that sort of stuff, but 2-camera editing as well, which is a big boon for me. What else? What else? Yeah, still trying to sort out some, talk terrains with various builders and stuff like that. We've got a battle mats video coming up, yeah, I'm reviewing battle mats soon. I'm just waiting for the last of them to drop, so that's looking good. But overall, things are really, well, considering the abject failure that, that last month technically was. You know, I think the battle mat that I did, I count that as a failure. Yeah, my 3 tutorials I had to can off, yeah, they were failures. So I've got to do a couple of those again. But overall, I know a lot more about acrylic caulking. So Mel's a happy man. And I reckon before, the plan on the acrylic caulking is I'm going to do another terrain lab this month. And then next month I want to look at teddy bear fur for mats. And then the month after we can do a load of mat tutorials and that sort of stuff once I've properly got my head around it. So that's the battle plan. Now on a slightly side note, yeah, I have been painting, yeah, and not terrain, models, yeah. These are my tanks. They're the first tanks that I've done in 7 years. I'm using a really simple tutorial. I'm using one from Pete over at the Wargamer, which is just, it's a basic tutorial for painting tanks, but it's been that long since I've been out of the game. You know, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing. And give me a hill, give me a cliff face, give me an ocean, give me a tree, anything like that, no worries. Yeah, give me an M3 Lee. Okay, what colour are these tracks? I mean, I used to do my old Imperial Guard ones metallic, but I don't think they're done like that. I painted these ones Monster Brown. I'm trusting Pete on that. But hopefully I should have some tanks finished. I want to get a few more gribbly bits, a few more bits from a Bolt Action Army. They brought out some Australian guys that have the bush hats, and I think they'll work really well with my Chindits, but I need to check them out, you know what I mean? Yeah, but I have a Chindit army, and I'm starting to look into other systems, to be perfectly honest. Now, this isn't because I'm not enjoying bolt action. I love bolt action, but you guys have been, you've been demanding more tutorials that we move on in the Let's Makes, and you want medieval. Yeah, now if I'm going to get into doing medieval terrain, I might as well look at some gaming systems for myself as well. Yeah, and so I'm thinking mixture between Frostgrave, which I've already got the rules for, and also Saga, which I played ages ago. Yeah, and I really like that. I like the battleboard mechanics, and it's small units, small armies, which is achievable for me. You know what I mean? Because I'm not the quickest painter in the West, or the East, the North, or the South, or anywhere, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, so I'm thinking along those lines. Yeah, so I'm thinking Saga. Now, it's Gripping Beast that does Saga. If there's anyone friendly with Gripping Beast, give me a shout. I could do with some advice about what to do. They're releasing a new version of Saga coming soon, version 2. And so I'm in that weird situation now. It's supposed to be coming in 2018, but I don't know when in 2018. And so it's like, do I wait? If it's going to be a while, do I jump on version 1 and just say sod it and update to version 2? I don't know. So if someone could get an answer on that for me, I'd be incredibly grateful, because it'll save Mel some pennies. And to be perfectly honest, the last thing I want to do is learn the rules for a war game to play with the kids and play with my mates, and then find out that the rules I've just learned are going to be succeeded by a new version of rules which are coming out in V2 in like a couple of months. I mean, if it's the end of 2018, then that's a no-brainer, you know, we'll leave it be. But if it isn't, then you know what I mean. So I've got to think about that. But we have got a big list of medieval stuff to do. And I can see that coming in slightly before Christmas. We've still got a few Let's Makes Battlefield Basics to do. Hopefully I want to get those finished off this month. And we've got a few more Countryside Scenics to do, but we're going to have to drop a few of those in over a longer period of time. Yeah, I'll explain why, but it's just complicated. Yeah, I need to do the foundation work on a few of them, which means technical tutorials explaining loads of different technical tips that I can then point to in the Let's Make for variations on the build. But I can't do the Let's Make until I've done the technical one, and the technical ones are quite time consuming. And the problem that I'm facing is I have about, work-wise, Terrain Tutor is just about a full-time job for me. You know, it's come and go. You know, sometimes we're short, other months we just about make it. Yeah, but we do make it, you know what I mean. But what it means is I have about 2 days, yeah, per video. If I need to make enough videos to actually make it. Typically I run short on that because I tend to do things like the terrain labs, which take up a bit longer time. Now the Let's Makes, they take about 2 days to make. All in, as in the terrain, the filming, the editing, the post-production work, you know, the promotion, all that sort of stuff. It's a work job. It's a 2-day job. The terrain lab, that's about a week. Yeah, and so the problem is, to do the big technical jobs in the terrain labs has to bite into the Let's Makes time and the shorter videos, which essentially means, although I'm producing better videos or more interesting videos technical wise, yeah, I'm losing money because I'm not putting out as many videos. The best thing for me to do is to put out lots of relatively short videos, yeah, because I get paid per video on Patreon. So videos that take, you know, a video that takes 2 days compared to a video that takes a week, 6 days. See what I mean? And the only way to sort of fix that is, you know, just keep soldiering on until my Patreon builds up to a stage where I only really need to bring out 4 or 5 videos a month, yeah, to cover the bills. And then in which case, you know, I can take the time to do the bigger builds and the castle build and stuff like that. But until I'm at that stage, I can't do much about that. Yeah, if you would like to help me with that, yeah, the link is down below, or there'll be a link on the screen. You know where it's like. Yeah, the Patreon, just $1. $1 for the first video of the month. It all helps, guys. Yeah, but that's the logistics behind it. That's why you see Let's Makes more than the technical stuff, because it's simply down to time and how many videos I have to make. If you're actually interested, did you know I spend between 7 and 9 hours a week answering comments and emails. Now I'm not talking about doing online admin as in going in and uploading videos and that and making Facebook posts and all that sort of stuff. I'm just purely talking about responding to you guys. So when you leave your questions, what do you think about this, how about this, and I get emails and Patreon messages and Facebook messages and messages to my personal Facebook and all this sort of stuff for advice, that takes 7 to 9 hours a week. Yeah, so on a monthly basis, pretty much one working week a month, I just answer community questions. Not the most profitable thing to do. Great for your ego and great for feeling good about you and helping people and that sort of stuff. Yeah, but really that's time I'd prefer to be making terrain tutorials, but I don't want to not answer people. So I'm sort of stuck on that one. You know, it all comes down to time management, this idea of how many days I've got, you know, a week to get into the studio and make terrain and make videos on making terrain. Because terrain ain't the quickest thing to make. And anything beyond a let's make certainly gets involved, especially the technical side, because that takes a lot of planning and that sort of stuff. So it's quite challenging. Yeah. I mean, I worked out, technically, I mean, okay, we've got the studio open day and then I've got Derby Worlds. Now, Derby Worlds is technically a hobby thing, but it's also technically a work thing. So there'll be no weekend off, then I'll be back in for 5 days and then I'll have Kez's day. I'm not doing this for the lifestyle, I'm sure about that. Then again, I'm not going to say that because I do love this lifestyle. I do love the fact that, you know, my work days are, I get to work in my hobby. I don't think I'd do it if I didn't enjoy it as much as I do, because it is a lot of hard work, ironically. There's a lot of stuff that goes on that you guys don't see. But because it's terrain and because it's my Terrainiacs and that sort of stuff, you know, and it's you guys, I enjoy it. But that's my situation. That's time. What is it? Time and motion studies, I think they call it. But that's where my time goes. You know, that's how time is split. Roughly a day helping the community, and then I have 4 days a week, roughly, doing terrain tutorials. But the staggered nature of terrain tutorials and the stages often means I nip in on a Saturday or a Sunday if I'm free and do an hour or two, just so I can do the next stage and the next stage. You know what I mean? It is crazy, you know. Absolutely crazy when you think about it. That, you know, technically, you know, I don't think I've ever worked so hard as I have doing this. And smiled so much. There's never been a day I've not wanted to come into work. How cool is that? So there we are. That's the logistics behind it. And so, you know, just on the self-promotion and Patreon side, you know, if you want to help me out and, you know, you do enjoy the videos, yeah, $1 really does help me out, because the more of those $1 means that the more interesting tutorials I can do and the more time I can spend on them. You know, I'll do my best to spend as much time as possible on tutorials and stuff like that for you guys, but, you know, there's limits, and, you know, I do have to put out at least sort of 5-6 videos just to scrape by on a month. Yeah, which is it was last month, to be truthful. Yeah, so it's just life, you know what I mean? So, I think that about wraps it up, guys, with what's going on. So last month, bit of a washout, but we've got some interesting things. This month I'm trying again. Yeah, I have managed to up the audio on my live shows, which I'm really chuffed about. Yeah, I want to start upping the visuals and that sort of stuff, but we'll look at that once this new computer's in, because when a new computer comes in, I'm going to have to spend about a day or 2 days transferring things over, setting things up, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, which is going to bite into terrain time as well. But it should mean that I can edit better and edit quicker. I mean, should mean that I'll be able to edit and actually be able to see a decent copy of what I'm editing rather than a highly pixelated copy, because my computer's only strong enough to run like the most basic preview window possible. So hopefully that's all sorted. So Mel's a happy guy about that. I'm going to try filming 2 Let's Makes a week if I can, as well as other terrain stuff. Not sure how that's going to pan out, but we'll give it a go. More terrain labs for the acrylic filler and that sort of stuff. So you'll see that at the end of the month, I reckon, because I'm just gonna tick over on that stuff over this month. Yeah, and we'll get that nailed down. So we've got another terrain lab coming. We've got the terrain showcase coming. Yeah, I'll be shouting that out as always. And a Burma build, hopefully. Fingers crossed, a bit of a Burma build if I can get these done in time. We will see. I don't know until we do it. So with that in mind, guys, I better get stuck in. So this has been my Monday. You'll see this on Tuesday because my editing machine will take at least overnight to render this video. One of the benefits of having the editing machine, once it's actually back, I'll be able to go home, render this while it does my tea and put it up on the Monday night. Yeah. Here's one question for you. Yeah, before we wrap it up. Right, I used to do my videos Tuesdays, Thursdays with a live show on Wednesdays and then the Sunday nighter. Now Kez has gone back to university, family logistics has turned around and it works out better that I do my live show on a Thursday night now because the kids aren't at home. Yeah, Willow's at drama, Corbin's at cadets, and so I'm not going to see him till bedtime anyway, so I'm not missing him. Now with that in mind, what I've been doing is I've been aiming to try and do a video on Tuesday, live show on Thursday and then a video on Saturday. Yeah, but I wanted to ask you, when would you prefer a video, a terrain video, whether it's a terrain lab, whether it's showcase, whether it's a let's make. I'm always aiming to give you a video on Tuesdays, but would you prefer on a Friday night or a Saturday night? I'm looking about 7:30 release time, so you've got it for the evening. So Friday evening, Saturday evening, which would you prefer? Right, I'm going to pop a poll up there, yeah, and you'll be able to answer your question in there and I'll get the answers there and we'll make a decision off that, okay? And then, so, let me know on that count. In the meantime, I'm going to get cracked on with my Battlefield basics and all my other stuff. Start work on the trench stuff, acrylic filler, oh god, I've got tons to do. And I'm at a photography course on Thursday. That's going to bite into another day. Yeah, I'm doing a photography course. My photos are awful. I mean, when I include photos on thumbnails of what things I'm, they don't actually look like that. They look a lot nicer. But I just don't know what I'm doing photo-wise because I've never done any professional photography or any photography course. So I'm on a day course on Thursday. So, yeah, that should be interesting. And hopefully my photos will improve. But moving on from that, like I say, lots going on, lots of train going on. Hopefully you're going to get more content from me and I get a bit better with this editing machine. Let me know on that Thursday, on that Friday, Saturday sort of release date thing. And then finally guys, as always, yeah, if you would like to help me and help the community and share my passion with you guys, yeah, Patreon, PayPal, you know the crack, you know, every little helps. And generally, just $1 a month does make a massive difference. Yeah, because it gives me the ability to make bigger and longer and better and more detailed videos for you. Because it's all about time. But in the meantime, I've got to crack on because time is running short. Yeah, so with that, I'll say ta-da. Catch you soon, guys. All the best.